But if they act upon, or here's the thing, it could be that nobody who is there believes what they're saying, but Israelis who are watching this might believe what you're saying. And if it leaks out and the Jews believe that you mean what you say, that's a problem in it by itself. It's like, it's like you're uh, it's which is which is like I also like it's a problem with I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm disrespecting the IQ level. I wish I was like, oh, they're idiots. Like, it's so hard for me to just stay in that realm because it just touches on a lot of things that are in the world of intelligence gathering. So one of the challenges in intelligence gathering is one of them is, like, for example, a trap that Sinwar fell into. He thought that Israeli media and it reflects Israelis. And because he thought that Israeli media reflects Israelis, he's a lot of the, like, he really thought that October 7th would have a completely different consequence than it, and it's true. He actually, like, Sinwa was like, he was very good at analyzing and intelligence gathering, and 100%, like, he was very, like, he's not he was not wrong with a lot of things. Like, technically on paper everything was correct, except he made the mistake of thinking that the that whatever is in the media reflects the society, and it's not true. Which is why after October 7th, I guess, especially, the Egyptians realized it's a mistake to watch Israeli media or Israeli officials or Israeli elites to understand what Israelis are actually going to do. So they did the amazing thing of, like, right now, this is what they're doing. The Egyptian Mukhabarat, right? They basically hacked Israel, like, all Israelis' phones, like everybody, just to see what, like, just to listen to what people are saying in the street, because they realized, like, oh my God, there is something a lot more complicated about understanding how Israelis really are and what they're gonna do is, than trying to gather intelligence from what is represented in the media or what is actually represented in social media, because it's also like there's almost complete disconnect between, like, because and this is the other thing, right? So I talk to people, like, and people are like, oh, social media reflects the American people or not. It's a question, right? Well, I can tell you that in Israel, no, like, no, it's not. It's like Israelis and, like, whatever is in social media, like, it doesn't all, like, it's I wouldn't gather intelligence like that. um so and it's like you learn something, right? And it's like, okay, maybe, like, people are getting entertained, but it's like, and can you, and so for Israeli, right, Israel right now is like, if this is where America is going, what does it mean for us? Like, what kind of actions should we do? So it's like, I'm sharing all of that not because I have the answers. I'm just saying what kind of, like, if I was in the intelligence operations, so, like, whatever, in and influence kind of spaces where it comes to, like, making, uh governmental decisions. um it's a very, very interesting question to try to figure out what motivates people to watch them, because the knowing understanding what motivates Americans to watch these guys completely changes the way that you build your governance and policy, right? It's like, it's so critical. um did I bore you guys? It's like, it's also like one of the things is, like, as people who do intelligence, right, you have to watch this kind of people. You have to watch it, because first of all, these people are unable to generate any kind of original thought. It means there is somewhere where they learned this thing and they are repeating it like parrots, right? They are pathogen carriers. And the real danger is usually where with whomever spreads this thing. um so like trying to like gather that and then understand like exactly like how deep they penetrated what level of the society, because the younger you go, the more dangerous it is, the more. So it's there are a lot of things here. It's not I hope I'm not boring you guys, like, you know. And the other thing is like understanding the dynamics in a society, how much it's also like there is a cultural thing. So one dangerous cultural phenomena that happens is that there is because a lot of us grew up feeling that our parents were not listening to us, there is this new cultural phenomena that is that J.D. Vance, for example, is the perfect example of, where he listens to the younger population too much. So when you give too much weight to the younger people, there is something that it's dangerous, because usually those who do revolutions are university students. And the reason they do it, like the reason they are like that, is because they believe some bullshit, because they never touched crest like these guys, right? Once you have a real job, you understand what a job is. You understand that there is commute time. You just like, you know, you have a mission, you have to do the mission, and then it's like things like, and you also get to understand that even if you can do something, it's there is a limited amount of time. It's just something that you learn, right? But when you learn from books, you don't feel the real, you don't, and you still don't understand that Iran, like for example, to ask a question like, wait, what is the commute time between the dead bodies and the ayatollahs? Like, are they in the same area of the city? Like, you know, like questions that you learn to ask when you actually have a job that you have to commute to, which probably they never had. But and also students never had those. So when there is a cultural shift that gives too much weight to what students say, then you're gonna, it's also like, it also means that you're gonna let people who are students speak, and then that creates a certain kind of narrative in society, and people tend to fall into the narratives that society tells them, that okay, that's the narrative. Okay, if everybody's saying that, like, then it must be true. If like somebody like in the government gives a space for students to speak and doesn't treat them as the idiots that they are, maybe they say something, maybe those students say something smart because they're already adults. But no, they're usually not saying anything smart, I can tell you that. Like, I would like something that in the old times people understood. Unless they're at least 30 years old, they probably everything they say is stupid. So, you know, it's like at least they're gonna have to be in late 20s. It's like it's like there was a reason why this is like this is something every tradition everywhere agreed to for on. Okay. And it's like, but then it's like, well, they never got hurt, and then it went like overcorrection. Anyway, it's like, no, it's like, oh, how, it's like, oh, student, okay, like, you, what, that's your question? It's like, you can ask questions, you don't have an opinion because you're a stupid student. That's where you are at life. This is where your place is at. And I was like, if we are gonna pretend that there are anything more than that, it's a problem as well. There's always need to know how to, like, you know, how to balance those things. Maybe sometimes once in a while, maybe the student was right, maybe they're worth listening to. It's like, you need to have correction mechanisms, but in general, it's I hope I didn't bore you too much. I'm just saying like how many different aspects of society, like the cultural element, the trend element, the motivation, like how much you need to know to actually predict properly. Because like, here's the thing, you know, where you know where Israel is really tested at, whether or not the Iranians are gonna like change the regime towards, you know, like towards democracy, given a chance, right?